Hello everybody, how are you all doing? Welcome back to Man City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. I know I'm a bit late, but I'll actually change the lineup from the scorecard, which I didn't even get a chance to change, and then we'll get in there. The lineup's actually very interesting. I just wanted to talk to you guys about that as well. Sorry that I'm a bit late, but let us let us dive into that once. I just adjust my scorecard and then we'll actually go into that. Yes, it's everything's perfect and everything's set. The lineup's very interesting because I think it's the first time in the entire season that our three midfield players have played in the best positions. Nico Gonzalez, DM, he's playing at DM. Mateo Kovacic, uh, box to box player, he's playing in that box to box role, and Ilkay Gundogan uh, was the best attacking midfielder in La Liga last season. Had more assists than everyone last season, maybe except Jude Bellingham. I'm not sure of that, but Gundogan's playing as an attacking midfielder, so it's very interesting. The lineups very interesting there. I know it's sort of gone with a 4-2-3-1. I would like to think that both Gundogan and KDB play those attacking midfield roles, but in a way, because Kevin De Bruyne has throughout the season played in an attacking midfield role, that's fine. But these three players that I mentioned about Kovacic, Gonzalez, and Gundogan, they have never played in their they've never played in their best roles this season. Have they played at the starting of the season? I mean, after Rodri's injury, they've never done so. Kovacic always at DM when he was best at box to box. Gundogan always DM box to box, where his best position was attacking midfield and all of those things. And it's very interesting. His sort of, at least the lineup here tells you that he's sort of gone with 4-2-3-1 narrow, which means, I mean, there were a couple of Reddit jokes when this lineup went out. People on Reddit were telling, people are asking wingers, and Pep is telling what wingers. So Pep has just removed the concept of wingers. It's interesting, but I'd like to see who holds the worth. Is it Nico O'Reilly? What I'm saying is it's going to a back three with Josko Guardiola. Probably has he been given that thing to play that John Stones role? Well, I don't know. I'll have to have a closer look at it. But yes, Josko Guardiola. It's not exactly going forward. It's Kovacic and Nico Gonzalez sitting, then Guardiola and Diaz. Yes, I think the width is with the fullbacks. That was a chance. Was it offside? I think McAtee was onside there. I don't know, but yeah, it's interesting. Both Nico O'Reilly and Rico Lewis. Ah, he was onside. McAtee was onside. Should have done much better with that. I know wobbling ball is never easy. He's taking his time over there, but again, is this? I think this season we're sort of going to get hints on how we are going to react in the transfer market. The start has been spectacular. It's been amazing, wonderful start. I mean, with De Bruyne, McAtee, and Gundogan in the middle, and Marmoush also dropping back and sort of going into that striker role again. It's just overwhelming for Palace, to be honest. Palace is just not able to deal with it. Gotham is here. Hey there, citizens. Hey, Gotham, how are you doing? First thing first, Gotham, what about the lineup? What do you think about the lineup? Because I find it very fascinating. The he's almost gone with three attacking midfielders. I think Pep is on some steroid mode. Pep is on some insane high. Is literally gone with three attacking midfielders here. I mean, of course, Kovacic provides you with that extra cover, which is very interesting. Absolutely interesting. Three attacking midfielders. And it just seems to be working at least in his first 6 minutes. Since Rodri's injury, these first 6 minutes are probably the best 6 minutes this season I've seen City play. Perfect. Gundogan, perfect movement. Absolutely smooth. Superb. Absolutely superb. What do you feel, Gautam, about it? Uh, these 5 p.m. games, never been a fan of it, but this just feels so different. This feels refreshing. Don't know why. Kevin De Bruyne, good chance for McAtee early on, but he didn't take it to be honest. But and City are not pressing high as well. I mean, tactically there are a lot of points in this game. City are not pressing as high. Yes, now the press has started. To be honest, I think the trigger of the press is when ball is with the Palace wide players. I think that's it. They're luring Palace into a trap here. Exceptional pressing from City. Wonderful pressing from City. Palace almost got caught out here. Gautam says no wingers, seven midfielders. Only Pep can bring such a lineup when every game is important for qualification. But honestly, Gautam, I'm sitting here and wondering why didn't he play this lineup against Manchester United or the games before this? Because honestly, when you look at it, who are our best players? Palace is on the attack, space for Isa, and Palace score, but it's offside. No, it's not offside. Isa scores. It's 1-0 City. Palace scored exactly 1-0 City. Just I was saying, speaking, you are looking maybe a bit comfortable, and then Palace scores. It's 1-0 City. What the hell are we doing? And that too, it's at our home as well. Simple counter attack. I think Isa is definitely on side. Isa is definitely on side. It's if Ismail Sarr is offside or not, I don't know. He's not offside, I think. What the hell is happening, man? We can't afford a loss here. It's almost like we have 7 finals after this match, kind of. And that too, this is at home. I thought this was one of our easiest fixtures, especially because it's at home and this is what happened. Again, lack of pressure on the ball in the midfield. To be honest, that's been the problem here. It's not Nico. The easiest thing to do here is maybe blame Nico O'Reilly, but O'Reilly wasn't the. But Nico O'Reilly wasn't the problem here. No, the pass before. No, before the pass was made to Ismail Sarr. What happened there? That was the problem there. The ball to Ismail Sarr was the problem there. And how was the ball to Ismail Sarr made? Players in between our lines, midfield, lack of legs in the midfield, not pressing high enough. Gautam says Palace away record is already scary, and then we start like this. But it's the usual start, right, Gautam? We concede one, that's what, and then we wake up probably. But the James McAtee chance, he should have ideally scored there. The James McAtee chance, he should have scored. And Palace front threes, I think literally it's one of the best in the PL. It's so underrated. Mateta, Isa, and Ismail Sarr. They got everything: physicality, pace, funness, everything. I think that front three is better than the front three of Manchester United, surely of Spurs. That front three is better than at least our front three. Maybe with the exception of Haaland, but it's as a whole, it's better than our front three. It's better than Arsenal's front three, of course. I mean, I think Palace front three is one of the best in the PL. I think, to be honest. JSK is literally worth. And Palace are almost scoring a second there. Almost. And it's the same trick and repeat. Out wide. Due to the midfield, three midfielders being narrow, he's sending Nico Riley higher. And which means he's not able to get back. The fault there is not of the fullback. The fault there is of the tactics. Look at it. Nico O'Reilly is a wing back. Look at it. Nico O'Reilly is providing width. So when Palace hit us on the counter, he can't recover. Bloody Pep. This is what happens with Guardiola. City fans always complain that Guardiola seems world class when he plays for Croatia, but he seems maybe just an above average defender when he plays for us, just defending wise. That's a good ball in there and good defending. Kevin De Bruyne City on the counter attack here. It's a 3v3 at the back. It's a 3v3 at the back. And Omar Marmoush. What the what the what the fuck was that? What the hell was that, guys? Why didn't we score there? Why didn't we score there? There couldn't have been many more easy chances. Why couldn't we score there? Pep is complaining for a shot pull. The referee says no. He says play on. We had to score that. What a chance. What a chance that was. What the hell was that, guys? How are we sitting this with 0 goals? And there a corner straight into the goalkeeper's hands. Why do you want to take a corner then? Just put the ball in goalkeeper's hands. It was a shot pull at the end, but don't think it's enough honestly there. This game has started in a majestic fashion, to be honest. But what the hell was that, guys? We honestly needed to score there. Just don't know. Through the middle, we are hard to play against here. Look at it. Palace are just not able to play against us through the middle. But then they're targeting us on their wings. It's a Palace free kick. Who is the bloody ref? What I mean, the goal we conceded in, we had two chances literally in this first 15 minutes. McAtee one where he was onside, and this one, it's a free kick for City. The McAtee one and this one, and both of them we missed it. The passing in between the lines is just superb. The ball's just not falling for us today. JSK says goalkeeper needs to be changed, but JSK, it's not like Ortega has been good this season. He's not been good this season as well. So, I mean, a midfield has been shit this season. Even if you put two Manuel Neuers in goal, I think we'll still concede the same shit goals because the midfield has been shit. That is an excellent pick off there. Nico Gonzalez, I think. Rico Lewis, Ruben Diaz, Kovacic, almost the. I mean, through the middle, we are supreme. We are like absolutely amazing. It's just we're not able to get the final ball. Come on, Kevin. The final ball. Rico Lewis back to Mateo Kovacic. Ruben Diaz. Josko Guardiol. Back to Ruben Diaz. Back to Josko Guardiol. Wait, ping ball. It's not a great ball. He's giving it straight to a Palace player, and that is an almighty God save me tackle, to be honest. What the fuck was that? Wonderful by Rico Lewis, using his strength, using his body. What kind of a lame pass is that from Kevin De Bruyne? I think it's a free kick for City. Tarek Michel. Gautam says Bayern have started their talks with Works and his family. Bayern has started their talks with Words and his family. They are confident enough to get it done. Well, if you don't qualify to UCL next season, this will be inevitable. It's a free kick for City. I honestly think Gautam, even if Words. But Gautam, tell me, how did they not score that goal? Marmoush and Kevin De Bruyne. How the hell did we not score that goal? If you can just provide me with an answer, how the hell did we not score that goal when it was inevitable? De Bruyne, Marmoush. Even after Marmoush misses, De Bruyne slightly had an easier chance, I think. I think with Florian Wirtz, even in the best case scenario, when Wirtz came to us, I think a Leroy Sané like situation was bound to happen because imagine Wirtz came to us next season and Wirtz obviously will develop very well under Pep or whoever comes next because with Haaland up front and all of that stuff and great wingers with us. And then Bayern and then Bayern being Bayern, they'll tell if you play in Germany, that's when you can play that's when you can play in the team for the World Cup and all that shit like they did with Leroy Sané. I think even if Birds came to us in 3 4 years, I think he would go off and do what Sané did. German players. I mean, who was the last German player who came to the Premier League in sort of almost his prime? We are getting on Palace there. We're getting on Palace. Keep up the good work, guys. This is much better. But who was the last German player who came in his prime like at 23, 24, 25, that sort of an age? I know Wirtz is a little younger than that, but is a generational talent. The last German player I remember is Bastian Schweinsteiger, and that too, he was almost at the end of his career then when he came to Manchester United. Gotham says we should not think about words now, but the only German player I think who sort of came somewhat in his prime is probably Leroy Sané. We got him. Other than that, I just don't remember any German players, any good quality German players or potential talents coming. Palace are incredibly good from corners. So words, even if he came, always felt that him staying lifelong here was difficult. So and Palace score again. And Palace score again. It's 2-0. It's just unraveling right in front of our eyes. It's 2-0. It's bloody 2-0. Even with 5 places up there, I don't think we're able to get Gautam says this team doesn't deserve top five. To be fair, exactly, it doesn't deserve top five. I mean, why can't we be putting balls in like this, and why can't we be scoring corners like this? We got three corners, and all of the deliveries were shit, and they got one corner, one goal. The clear out has to be ruthless. That's what I would sit here and say. The clear out has to be absolutely ruthless. It doesn't deserve. I mean, it the sorry about that, but yeah, the clear out needs to be absolutely ruthless. There's no mercy here. It does not matter if it's a player who has taken us glory in the past. It has to be absolutely ruthless. Again, probably money is not the problem here, because even if we miss out on Champions League, we're gonna play the Club World Cup, and I think you sort of make the money up on what you get in the Champions League there. So that's not the problem here. The problem is the long term future of the squad. I think Palace will go into ninth place or something with this win. Insane. I mean, the derby actually showed our levels. To be honest, we could not even beat that shit Manchester United team. Ah, Gautam says, I don't know the audacity of Gundo to stay. I really didn't really get why he wants to stay. I was watching the Barcelona Dortmund game. I mean, I saw the highlights. Obviously, I'll not watch the whole game again. Hits the bar. What the hell? It should have been 3-2 in our favor now, but anyways. So I was watching the Barcelona Dortmund Champions League highlights, and I mean, you see their movement in the midfield. It's so fast that the way their midfielders are pressing. Now I understand why Hansi Flick did not want Gundogan in the team, because Gundogan cannot do that stuff. I mean, Fermin Lopez was the cam, and it was insane the work rate he was putting in. Gundogan could not have put in that work rate, and we bought him. I don't know. Kevin, what? Almost what a ball by Kevin De Bruyne there. We cannot go into halftime 2-0 down. We have to score a goal. Of course, they score one more goal and it's game over. That is wonderful skill from Nico O'Reilly there. Nico O'Reilly has been good, to be honest. Latham says Bernardo wants to go to Benfica. Hope he gets his deal done. Look at that crossfield switch to Nico O'Reilly. That's as shitty as I've seen. Wow, the season is then unraveling like a. I don't know even what to say. And this is the reason why we could not beat even that shitty Real Madrid team. JSK says goalkeeper is fucking shit. The entire team is fucking shit. JSK, the entire team is bloody fucking shit. Not just the goalkeeper. Bayaji is here. Hey Bayaji, how are you doing? Bayaji says we need 5 to 6 new first team players. Let us actually count. Rodri will come back next season, so he is one of those 5 to 6 players, because it's as good as new, because he didn't. This should have been three. This should have been three. There's an easy chance Ismail Sarr put it out. This should have been three. This should have been 3-0 game over. Bye bye. switch it off and enjoy the weekend. That's what it should have been. Ismail Sarr just could not finish it. But yeah, Rodri will come back, so that's one player. And then we will have a replacement for Kyle Walker two. We will have a replacement for Kevin De Bruyne. That is three. Oscar Bob will be like a new player, which is four. Look at the pressing of Palace. JSK says Edison, Gundogan, Silva, Bernardo Silva will leave. That is five. Yes, I think already we need five. On top of that, I think we need one or two backups as well. The mood Kevin De Bruyne is in, I think I miss Erling Haaland a lot, to be honest. JSK says I told you at the very beginning, Gundogan is a very bad idea, but none of us thought so. JSK kudos for telling that, but at least I mean, you look at the season he was coming from. He was coming from a season where he was the best creative midfielder in La Liga. He had almost the highest number of assists over there. I mean, he was voted the best player. I mean, second best player of La Liga, I think, after Jude Bellingham. But again, who is that idiot who lost the ball and Palace are again on a counter attack? And this time it's Jean Paul Mateta to put City out of it's easy to put City out of our misery. The flag is up, the flag is up, the flag is up, but I think Eberike Eze has just put this afternoon to bed. This is just absolutely insane. This is very tight, but I think it's just offside. His just I mean at the far end, I think someone playing him on. I don't know unless they draw the lines and all, but you just look at the finish from Iza. Luckily, it's offside, but honestly, we don't deserve it being offside. Bayern says when the whole team looking out of sorts, it's the manager's fault. I don't think. I mean, you could say it is because Pep did not decide to buy in the summer and then Rodri injury happens and all. But I think it is. But when you just look at what is available to Pep right now, let us not go back in the decisions he made in the past. But what is available to Pep right now, I do not think it's a manager's fault because the manager is the manager is not able to get these people to play the way he wants. His style is a high pressing style. The midfield cannot play the high pressing style. And with Pep, I think it's almost he knows how to play one style. He has no plan B. We have to accept that. I think that is one thing. When people say Jose Mourinho had to change, Pep has to change, and all of that. No, these people don't change. I'm sorry. They have their plan A, and their plan A is bloody excellent. It's the best, and then they don't have anything else. They live by that. They die by that. That's what they are. The midfield is the problem, I think. The paradox is super interesting. It's the manager's fault, but not for not replenishing for not refreshing the squad in the summer, and also it's not the manager's fault right now because he doesn't have the players to do what he wants. Kovacic does well. Kevin De Bruyne. It's a free kick for City. It's Kevin De Bruyne territory. Bayaji says, how easily City had opened up, putting top one stars to save. One ball over the top, one ball out wide. And we are opened up. Gautam says Tijani Reinders is difficult as he has a contract till 2030, but Theo is much simpler as he wants to leave his contract and his contract is till 2026. Tijani Reinders, I think Tijani Reinders is the perfect box to box midfielder you'll find. But I honestly think I would want Hugo Larsson to be honest. He's just something else. He's just superb. The free kick. Let's see how we do in this. It's very good range. Looks like yes, De Bruyne will take it definitely. And De Bruyne scores. De Bruyne scores. This is on King Kevin. This is absolutely on King Kevin. Look at how he has scored that. This is just wonderful from Kevin De Bruyne. What a strike from Kevin De Bruyne, to be honest. What a wonderful strike from Kevin De Bruyne. It's almost curved around the ball. I think it's a wonderful strike, but this does not take away from how shit we have been this game. Kevin De Bruyne has been excellent. I mean, when KDB is in this mood, you miss Erling Haaland. When Haaland has the mood, KDB does not have. When KDB has the mood, Haaland does not have. And when both has the mood, Pep does not play one. It's almost like the relation between KDB and Haaland this season has almost been like a couple who one works night shift and the other works day shift. Kevin De Bruyne, shot blocked. Almost that was almost a strike going in. How did we not score that? James McAtee. This game should have been 4-2 City. I'm sorry. De Bruyne goal, this goal, McAtee miss, and then De Bruyne miss early on, and Marmoush and De Bruyne miss early, and this should have been 4-2 City. How the hell have we not scored there? What a ball that is from Omar Marmoush. Wow, what a ball that is from Omar Marmoush. Superb. Theo Hernandez, Gautam is a very, very interesting one. I would definitely love Theo Hernandez. His pace is insane, is very, very good. James McAtee. The angle was always difficult. But James McAtee there didn't follow the golden rule. They say head it back from where it came from. If McAtee followed that rule, I think it would have been 2-2. Bayaj says Pep doesn't even acknowledge that there's a problem in playing midfield of oldies. He will play them again next season if they aren't sold. Our midfield, Bayaji, our midfield is the same as CSK's top order. I mean CSK's batting order, especially this season. Most of them oldies. It's the same resemblance. They cannot chase any target above 160, 170, and here we cannot press in the midfield. Our midfield is similar to CSK's midfield. And have you seen one more similarity this season between CSK and us? Both of us are sponsored by Etihad Airways. What a goal! 2-2! That is 2-2! Omar Marmos! City have made the comeback! Wow! Look at the strike there! Come on, City! Come on! Woo! What a goal! Wow! 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 This is just some exciting, fascinating stuff. Fascinating shit that we have not had in a while. Concede two and then score two. Is there any offside here? Absolutely no offside. No offside. Omar Marmoush I think it was Gundogan with a miss kick. Look at it. Look at our luck. The miss kick of Gundogan falls to Omar Marmoush. The miss kick of Ikai Gundogan falls to Omar Marmoush. Wow. Super Pep. Bayaji, yeah, Bayaji, that's what the header, he should have headed it back from where it came from. Gautam says, have you heard that city? Exactly, Gautam. That's what I actually wanted to talk about. Morgan Gibbs White. Morgan Gibbs White. That's what even he was on my mind. Morgan Gibbs White. I think I've read the news 2 days back and I actually saw the clips of Morgan Gibbs White that night and then slept. Nothing special in those clips, to be honest, but we'll talk about Morgan Gibbs White. City or another attack. We are just going for it, to be honest, right now. We are absolutely going for it. Kovacic. The half has not ended for Palace. Palace now, a while ago, City wanted the half to end and Palace did not want the half to end. Now it's the reverse. Palace want the half to end and City do not. Ball into the box. I mean, but one thing have you guys noticed? There's no backward passing today. It's mostly this the backward and sideways passing has been very less today. It's mostly forward passes with the intent. I mean, we have conceded 2 goals and all of that, but the intent is there today. That is something which which I've not seen literally since the start of the season. Rico Lewis, City are enjoying a wonderful phase here. What a pass that was. This is mesmeric football. This is mesmeric football. This is mesmeric football from City. Last 10 minutes, 91% possession by City. Wow. This is mesmeric football. But you know, guys, one thing common between CSK and as is Etihad have a sponsorship. I think there was a clause written into it. If you want a sponsorship, you need to only have oldies in your team in your starting 11. Omar Marmoush, he's been the star. He's lost it. That is a breaking play. That is a breaking play. By says, I'm so done with these overpriced, overhyped English players. बाया says, 150 देगा मॉर्गन गिब्स वाइट का लेना है तो लो. बाया जी वो भी महंगा महंगा पड़ेगा. Even that is so expensive, 150 रुपए. But Morgan Gibbs White is an interesting one. I mean, when you see clips online, there 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 are no clips of almost like he plays those over, he plays those defense splitting passes and all of that. But what Gibbs White is good at is Morgan Gibbs White is very technical. Is very good in tight spaces. He has the flair to get out of the tight spaces. He is a good dribbler, not Doku level, but he doesn't get lost in tight spaces. And he obviously has a very good shot. But then I don't think 100 million for Morgan Gibbs White. I think if you want to spend 100 million, I would instead get Eberidge Ezer. What a ball that is. Nico O'Reilly. Wonderful control from Nico O'Reilly there. What control from Nico O'Reilly there? This is a star. This is already a star. Kevin De Bruyne. He is rolling back the clock with his hair, this hair falling over his shoulders. Kevin De Bruyne, he's playing with that freedom, he's playing with that flair. Should have been a bit more angle cross, to be honest. By this is sudden, there was one sequence of play by Aji where it was absolutely mesmeric, where the ball came to De Bruyne, I think, and then he just touched it, and then the ball looped into the path of McAtee almost. That was mesmeric. Gautam says, how can Gibbs White do what KDB has done so far? Is not even 1% of KDB. I know it's not possible to replace him, but still there is some level. But Gautam, what I don't understand is Jack Grealish of a lower level than Morgan Gibbs White? Absolutely not. Jack Grealish for me is at least 2 levels above Morgan Gibbs White. Unless Pepe's seen something insane in Morgan Gibbs White, then I'm out. But as far as the information and things we have seen, we know Grealish is a much better player than Morgan Gibbs White. Phil Foden is a much better player than Morgan Gibbs White. McAtee is at the level of Morgan Gibbs White, if you ask me. So we already have three players who are on that level, and I think you can get Eze for 70 million. If I would ask you Eze or Morgan Gibbs White, what would you say? I would say in a heartbeat Eze. Maybe just the. I mean the interesting thing about this Morgan Gibbs White comment is I think the source referred to David Ornstein. I of course did not verify the source, but it sort of referred to David Ornstein, which is interesting. That was a good press from City. The referee is an absolute bollock, absolute shit. Get the fuck out of here, ref. Just this kids needs to play more. Pep is watching a lot of IPL, JSK, especially CSK matches since we are sponsoring them as well. Etihad Airways is sponsoring CSK as well. Pep is watching a lot of CSK matches, so it's we won't play kids. Just like CSK, we won't play kids. We will only play the old people. Why this is why not put in extra 20-30 million and get Words deal done and rest for a decade? Josko Guardiola, that is a foul for City. Bayaji, I think with the Words deal, I think it's not rest for a decade. I think we Gautam pointed out that Bayern are close to signing Words, but in the scenario like you said, where we pay 150 million for Words, for example, no club in the world will be able to match that. We pay 150 million for Words, and then he signs a contract for 4 years or whatever, and then after those 4 years, his 20 will be 24 then. Just what happened to Leroy Sané will happen to him. Bayern will come for him, and German players, the German players and Spanish players, I don't trust them as much, to be honest. If not now, some other time they will just go back to their home clubs, to be honest. But now I think who is the alternative to Words? That is the big question. Who is the bloody alternative to Words? The 15 minutes have been exhilarating, I would say. They've been superb. The best I've seen City play, it seems like, in 2 decades, but honestly, this year. If we played like this against Real Madrid, like how we played the last 15 minutes, we would have beaten them in the Champions League. We would have thrashed them the last 15 minutes, from 35 minutes till now. Absolutely mesmeric. And Kevin De Bruyne, I mean, whenever De Bruyne is touching the ball in this match, it's almost like he's measuring the range with his cannon gun, taking aim. The ball out wide, I think last attack before the half. Josko Guardiol, Nico O'Reilly, Josko Guardiol again, Ruben Diaz, Nico O'Reilly. I mean, I think Palace position will be somewhat like zero, I think 0 or 2% in the last 10-15 sort of minutes. Josko Guardiol, we are suffocating Palace. It's 3 minutes of added time. Josko Guardiol, the passing has been sharp. No wasteful passing. Every pass is a purpose. If you see, every bloody pass is a purpose. Kevin De Bruyne, back to Ruben Diaz. Diaz is surveying. I think the pass to Guardiola is the best one. No, he chooses Kevin De Bruyne. Rico Lewis, James McAtee on the outside. When I think he had to, I don't know why he went for power there. He could have just slotted it in the far corner. Gautam says words might not sign without UCL and Bayern already started personal. Yes, I think German and Spanish players anyway don't prefer. Is there one more chance? I think there's 1 more minute remaining, but what a fascinating phase of play that was for 3 minutes. Omar Marmoush, look at his pace, look at his power. Wow, Omar Marmoush's pace is just so defective. I have a lot of Liverpool fans, especially telling me that we should have gone for Marmoush this season. Liverpool fans are literally regretting that they didn't sign Marmoush. What a player Marmoush is, the pace, the finesse. That's a throw in for City. I think 20 more seconds. One more ball into the box, guys. One more bloody ball into the box. Yes, I think that's it for the half. I think we should have honestly been 5-2. The McAtee chance, De Bruyne going through on goal, then these two goals, then De Bruyne chance at the end. Honestly, De Bruyne could have scored a hat trick. Anyway, I think German and Spanish players, like I said before, I just don't trust them to stay the course. JSK just get Arda Güler from Real Madrid. Big talent, JSK. You're right, because Real Madrid, even if you see the UCL matches, at least the highlights and stuff, you'll notice that Arda Güler does not have permanent place there. Bellingham himself is struggling to get time in the middle of the park. Sometimes he's being pushed to the left, or out wide and all of that stuff. So I think Arda Güler doesn't have a chance at Bayern. Sorry, at Real Madrid. So Arda Güler would be really good. That's a good option. JSK Gautam says Pep is an RCB fan. But this season feels like he's a CSK fan. JSK says best option is paying the release clause of Jamal Musiala, 175 million, and get him. He will be permanent. I think Musiala will also stay. Musiala will stay JSK. Getting both of them out of Bayern. I mean, how? When was the last time in the history of English football you've seen a wonder kid who has grown up in Bayern's academy and achieved his prime? I mean, he could be in Bayern Academy at 17, 18, and then come to City. That is different. But or rather English club, but a kid from the Bayern Academy is given first team chance at Bayern and then has gone through achieve world class levels. And when is the last time you've seen such a scenario happen when they've sold him or another club have got him? Never. Same with Real Madrid, same with Barcelona. These clubs are so, I won't say evil, but they're that. They're so mean and evil that if their academy product becomes world class at another club, they'll snatch him back even at 23, 24 years old. Look at what they did to bloody Eric Garcia, and now they just thrown him out. Eric Garcia at City would have become a mainstay. He was already captaining the side at 19 in some cup games and league games, to be honest. Look what they've done. So just think Musiala is out, Words is out. Now, what are our options? I don't like Morgan Gibbs White, neither do you all guys. Perfect. But what are our other options? I'm thinking, and honestly, I don't know. Gautam says an interesting update came today morning from Football Transfers is that City wants to get Ryan Cherky from Lyon and have started the personal terms agreement process. Thoughts? Wonderful. I mean, I've seen a bit of Ryan Cherky, especially when when Liverpool fans were talking about, I think 4 or 5 months ago, when Liverpool fans were talking about Ryan Cherky being the successor to Mo Salah, and I think you could get him for around 60 million. I think Ryan Cherky, if I'm not wrong, there's some clause written into his contract and stuff. So with Ryan Cherky, the thing is, he does not have a fixed position. Yes, he can play on the right, he can play on the left, and he can play in the middle as well. For me, I always think Ryan Cherky's best position is always cutting in from the right, I think, mostly. But is he an out and out attacking midfielder? He's an exceptional midfielder. You know what they say about Ryan Cherky? They say about Ryan Cherky that he's got Hatim Ben Arfa's soul in him, that flair. I mean, there are a couple of documentaries I saw when a couple of renowned football pundits they say that they haven't seen someone with that kind of a flair since Hatim Ben Arfa, and Ben Arfa was absolutely superb in that dribbling, passing, that kind of a thing. I think Ryan Cherky could be an absolutely fantastic signing. He could play anywhere in the front three, front three, front four, I would say, when the attacking midfield role is. The only thing with Ryan Cherky is in front of goal. I think he does everything well. This is my observation of seeing him. He just cannot decide which kind of finish to make. Should I finish at the far post? Should I finish at the near post? That is something which I see lacking in Ryan Cherky, but I think he will learn it with experience. Ryan Cherky would be an excellent signing. What do you guys think about Ryan Cherky for me? Superb. And there was the graph, maximum dribbles per 90 minutes, and of course our very own Jeremy Doku was up there. And Ryan Cherky was up there as well. I think Ryan Cherky, Vinicius Junior, and Jeremy Doku are the three players who complete the most dribbles. And I think Ryan Cherky is an upgrade on Jeremy Doku in terms of dribbles completed per 90. He dribbles better than Jeremy Doku, and you know how monstrous of a dribbler Jeremy Doku is. And Ryan Cherky is an end product as well. JSK says, or we can develop Claudio Echeverry too, but he shouldn't be sent to loan for that. I think he'll be sent to loan for he'll be sent to loan to Girona. I think Claudio Echeverry 1 season. The problem is you do not have time to develop a Claudio Echeverry because next season. Because, yeah, because next season you're again competing for the title. When you're competing for the title, when your opponents like Arsenal, for example, you're winning titles by played that game against Spurs, which was his full Premier League debut. I mean, since 2017, 2019, Foden was around the team since 2017, but it's only in that 2019-20 season when he's really come to the fore. So, can you give Asheverry so much time? That's the big question. So I'm struggling here literally who could be the alternatives because Sharky is good, but we might have competition for Sharky. JSK says, Bayaj says, how will Bayern play both Musiala and Words in the same lineup? Bloody sheepos. They say that they'll play two cams and they'll play two cams and then they'll play a DM. Otherwise, they say that Words can also play off the right and he can cut in. He can cut in from the right as well. So, or they'll play Words as an inside forward. I think one of the plans is Jamal Musiala for me, his best position is not Cam. His best position is just right behind the striker. So Bayern could play a 4-4-1-1 with the striker Jamal Musiala almost with the striker, and then maybe Florian Wirtz just behind them with almost a front three developed in that way. I think they'll play both in that way. JSK says yes, Ryan Sharkey, a wonderful player, but he can play all three positions. JSK, I've seen him play left wing as well, to be honest. So he can even play as a striker. So he can play all the four positions. His runs are superb. I've seen him play strike as well, of the right as well, cam as well. He's almost a diamond waiting to be shaped in the way Pep Guardiola wants him. But I'll not be surprised seeing Ryan Cherky play box to box under Pep or as a right back under Pep. That's what Pep can do to a player. But Gautam says Cherky is 21. JSK says no, Jeremy Doku's dribbling is out of the world except Vinny. No one is close, but he has an IQ of a log in the final third. I think maybe I'll just pull that up, JSK. I don't know if I can pull that up, but Ryan Sharkey was up there. Stats for highest dribbles completed per 90. I am sure that I have seen Ryan Sharkey's. I think Ryan Sharkey is definitely up there. Yes, there's have let's actually check. Where is our Jeremy Doku? I don't know. But Ryan Sharkey was definitely up there, to be honest. That's what I actually remember. JSK says, by the way, Vinny has also turned to shit after giving a statement of 10x. JSK says, Vitinha is also an excellent option, but doubtful PSG will sell him. PSG is not going to sell any one of. And have you seen those goals, PSG versus Aston Villa, desired duo. I mean, what young talents are coming out from PSG? Desired duo was there. His goal against Aston Villa was just it was mental. It was just a laugh. And then there is Warren Zaire Emery. It seems we tried to sign Warren Zaire Emery 2 years ago. PSG asked for Oscar Bob plus 100 million, and then we did not go back for him. Obviously, Warren Zaire Emery, Desire duo. Then there's one of the centre back who's coming through. Nuno Mendes has just turned out to be the best left back in world football at this point of time. We had a chance to sign Nuno Mendes, if you guys remember. I think in 2019-20, the summer of 1920, when we were, looking at Kukureya and all of that stuff, I think we were linked to Nuno Mendes, and what a fine left back he's turned out to be at PSG right now. Excellent going forward, excellent defensively. He's kept Mo Salah in his pocket. He's kept those Aston Villa wingers in their pocket. Wow, that PSG squad is just superb. And I'm still sitting here and wondering how did PSG get Kvaratskhelia for 70 million? That is insane for me. Forget about Ryan Cherki and all of those. I mean, how did PSG get Kvaratskhelia from for 70 million? That too in today's market, where they ask United for 100 million for Anthony, for example, where clubs are spending that amount of money, 70 million for Kvaratskhelia, an absolute joke if you ask me. I mean, what an insane signing Kvaratskhelia could have been for us. Imagine Kvaratskhelia and Erling Haaland playing together. The dribbling ability of Kvaratskhelia is not far behind Doku, and wow, Kvaratskhelia could have been insane. JSK says Mo Salah's dad, right? Didn't get you on that, JSK. I'm sorry, didn't get you on that. JSK says he fell out with Napoleon. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he fell out with Napoleon. Napoleon had to offload him, but why didn't we go in for him? Why did we allow PSG to get him? Have a clean through move on him, because this winter we signed Omar Marmoush. I think Kvaratskhelia and Omar Marmoush are of the same price. I'm not telling Marmoush is less better than Kvaratskhelia and all, but what I'm telling is I think when you're paying the same price, I think you could have considered Kvaratskhelia as well. Kvaratskhelia would have been He would have suited this squad insanely well. But I'm just sitting here and thinking, who is that? Who is that upgrade on Kevin De Bruyne? Who is that? I'm sorry, not upgrade. Who is that replacement of Kevin De Bruyne? And honestly, I'm sorry, not able to find anyone. I think Devin Mukasa comes very close to that, but is not yet ready. But he's not yet ready product. I think they are using semi-automated offsides here. They are using semi-automated offsides here, and that is good. None of this VAR shit now. It's good they're using semi-automated offsides. JSK says Claudio Echeverry, but we need time. Time is what we don't have, JSK. Unfortunately, time is what we don't have. Because De Bruyne is not going after 2 seasons. De Bruyne is going literally now. I mean, literally at the end of the season. I mean, there are a lot of players who can play out wide and can be creative outlets, but who can play in the middle. Thinking of that, and I don't know, who can play in the middle. Could Eze be that? I don't know because Eze's best has always been when he's played out wide, to be honest. Eze, Mateta, and Sar. Not Eze in the middle. I'm just thinking who could be. I think Grealish could be the answer. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are. I think Grealish could easily be the answer to our solutions. Yes, our problems. Yes, I know there are injury problems with Jack Grealish, but Grealish could be the answer, to be honest. Who else are there? I would not want Bruno Fernandes in a million years at all. There, Martin Odegaard is just not good enough to fill in Arsenal. I mean, KDB's role. Who else are there? I'm thinking. Arda Guller is a very, very good option. But with Luka Modric leaving, I think there's sort of a space for Arda Guller there in that Madrid team. I'm not sure. We are up and running for the second half. Here we go for the second half. I mean, I want us to start the way we started ended the first half, to be honest, in supremely insane fashion. That was the City of previous years, to be honest, who are wiping the floor with teams. Almost got to that ball there, James McAtee. McAtee has been very, very good. He won't have an assist to his name. And JSK is how about Nkunku? I'm leaving JSK. Goodbye. I'm leaving Christopher Nkunku. Do not buy players from Chelsea when they sell. I do not want to carry, and anyway, we don't have balloons as well. I've heard there's a short supply of balloons in Manchester, and the injuries to Nkunku is just insane. Javi Simmons would have been an interesting option, but it just seems we are not in for him. I don't know why. What a ball that is! Nico O'Reilly has to. What a goal that is! Mateo Kovacic. Wow! What a pass that is from Nico O'Reilly. Nico O'Reilly waited, then he passed it to Kevin De Bruyne, and I think Kevin De Bruyne gave it to Nico O'Reilly. Wow, what presence of mind. Everything here is about Nico O'Reilly there, and what a strike from Mateo Kovacic. Guys, just wait by this goal. Wow, guys, just wait when both. Ah, no, he's on side. They're playing him on the far side. I think it's Jefferson Lema who plays him on the far side. Nico O'Reilly, Kevin De Bruyne, Mateo Kovacic. That strike of Mateo Kovacic is just absolutely insane. It's just out of this world. What a strike that was from Mateo Kovacic. Wow. What an absolutely beautiful strike that was. Bayajis' comeback is on. KDB running the show. Comeback completed by Aji, but we need at least two more goals, not one. Sorry. We need at least two more goals. But everything by Ajay about that goal was about Nico Riley. I mean I mean the way this lad manages to remain calm in those sort of situations is just insane. Palace on the attack now. Wonderful. Wonderful running back there from Nico Gonzalez. Palace is on the attack here. City have started this half like a train. Wow. Again, the ball from Ikai Gundogan. And I mean, everyone will remember Kevin De Bruyne for that assist and Kovacic for that goal. But I think the two most important events happened before that. Gundogan's pass to find and the run from Nico O'Reilly. Both of them were world class, to be honest. Wow. Nico O'Reilly deserves at least an assist, if not a goal, in this match. He is just being insane, Nico O'Reilly. Wow, wow, and just absolutely wow. I mean, the impact Nico O'Reilly has on this team, you can notice it by the fact that Kushanov is sitting out. Kushanov has been up the best defender, our best defender this season. He was great against Vinicius Junior as well, and he was our best defender this season. I mean, so if Pep has to play Nico O'Reilly at left back and he cannot drop Guardiola as well, he has to shift Guardiola to centre back. So I think he's keeping Kushanov out on the bench. Many people are wondering why is Kushanov out on the bench because of Nico O'Reilly. He's been so good. I mean, you can play Kushanov at right back, but then Pep I think prefers Rico Lewis to be honest for things that Rico Lewis can do in small spaces. But Nico O'Reilly has been an absolute again semi-automated offside. This is brilliant. The semi-automated offsides are brilliant, to be honest. Don't know why they didn't bring this technology early on in the Prem. Bayeji says bring on Kushano for Rico. I think City are on the ascendancy. I just don't think Pep will make such a defensive change now, to be honest. Ah, should have been four. James. McAtee, that was your chance, mate. That should have been four. Wow. James McAtee should honestly be on a hat trick. I mean, James McAtee honestly should have had a hat trick by now, to be honest. The chance at the start when he was on side, the header, and this one. James McAtee should have had a hat trick by now. James McAtee should have had a hat trick by now. Got a rare start and should have had a hat trick by now. He's been superb in everything he did, James McAtee. Just taking the chances, that's all. I don't know why, but especially playing out wide, James McAtee reminds me of a younger version of Bernardo Silva when he just came from Monaco to us, and when he just started playing on that wing, he used to move like James McAtee. His actions, the way he cuts in on the left foot. I think McAtee reminds me of a young Bernardo Silva. Maybe we have a replacement sort of a thing in McAtee for Bernardo Silva, but again, the work rate, McAtee provides a work rate as well. Gautam says Nico O'Reilly has been a boon this season. Nico O'Reilly has, I mean, if there is something to cheer about in this season, it's been Nico O'Reilly, to be honest. He's just literally come out of nowhere, and also he's coming. He's helped the team in situations when we were down and out. Leighton Orient, if I'm not wrong, down and out. He comes on and scores that header. Bournemouth down and out. He provides that wonderful assist there, which marks a comeback. Provides that wonderful assist to Marmoush, and here look at that again, 2-2. He helps us in the comeback. By Jesus, McAtee has missed too many chances today. What's he doing? McAtee honestly should have had a hat trick by It's one of the more easier hat tricks he'll score just by following the basics. It's just, I mean, honestly, by City should have been seven goals up by now. Honestly, even if you count McAtee's three chances, De Bruyne hitting the post, Marmoush and De Bruyne, both of them, 2-on-1 chance, not taking it at the beginning. Easily three or four goals more we should have had. Kevin De Bruyne. That's a foul on Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, look at how much of a difference Nico Gonzalez has made. Because the last match against United, can you guys answer me this question, please? Why didn't Pep Guardiola play Nico Gonzalez against Manchester United? Because every bloody pass against United in the midfield was back, back, back. United are a far, far worse pressing side than Palace. And today, Palace press has been very, very good, at least up to this point. Nico Gonzalez is still playing the ball through the middle. If Pep played Nico Gonzalez against United, we would have got 2 more points. Now, can anyone just explain me why Pep did not start Nico Gonzalez against United? And that was just out of the world question. What a strike again from Kovacic. How sweetly does he strike the ball. Great first touch from Josko Guardiola. What are the substitutions in this song? Let's have a look. Mateta off and Will Hughes on, right? And I think that was because Palace were getting killed in midfield, and they're still getting killed in midfield. This trio has been superb in the midfield. Nico Gonzalez, Kovacic, and Gundogan. James McAtee has to score, and James McAtee scores. Woo! James McAtee scores, and look at that jump! Look at the celebration, guys, from James McAtee. Wow! Look at that celebration from James McAtee. Assist goes to Ederson. Assist from Ederson. Look at the celebration from James McAtee, guys. Absolutely superb. Woohoo! The best City match we are watching this season. The best City match we are watching this season. Just look at the celebration. Look at that take from McAtee. Wow. Took his time. Wonderful from James McAtee. Made sure it's not a handball or something and he just hit it. What a goal that is. Finally. Ooh, that celebration was the highlight. Bayaji, the way he jumped, he can clip it. He can clip it and I think he can play it over and over and over again. Ederson gets another assist this season. Wow. Bayegis's whole team on song after Palace second goal. I think what the Palace manager would have told. I think what the Palace manager would have told Palace players at halftime is he would have scolded them. What the fuck were you doing? I told you not to score more than one goal. You have bloody scored two and you have woken up the dragon now. The way Palace was suffering, he had to remove Mateta and he had to bring on Phil Hughes. This is wonderful from City. Wow. 4-2. McAtee honestly should have had three more goals in this match. That just shows your dominance. Superb. भैया जिसे इसको बैक फ्लिप भी आता है अरे गोल मारेगा फ्रंट फ्लिप भी करेगा आई डोंट नो हाउ द फक डू यू डू दैट बट फ्रंट फ्लिप भी करेगा फ्रंट सोमरसॉल्ट करेगा मे बी नॉट फ्रंट फ्लिप बट अगेन सुपर्ब absolutely superb the best I've seen City play this season if he had played this season like this we would have won the title to be honest and we would have still be there in the Champions League. Of course, I know a lot of factors. KDB was not fit, and again, all of that. Nico Riley was not there earlier in the season, but the selection from Pep is very, very good. I mean, you keep Savinho on the bench, you keep Doku on the bench, and you go for James McCarthy. That is just insane. That is just superb. It could have been easy for him to play Savinho. I mean, have you observed the? I mean, have you observed the difference between McAtee and Savinho? What a ball that is! What a ball that is! KDB running through. Oh, Omar Marmoush. अभी कितने लोग फिनिश करो यार यार फिनिश करो please finish it what the fuck was that honestly should have been 10 goals honestly should have been 10 goals what a ball that was I don't know who played the ball I have to look back but Kevin De Bruyne to Marmoush to Gundogan Gundogan to I mean तीन लोग finish नहीं कर पाए Nico Riley was difficult to greet but Marmoush had to finish it Kevin Ilkay Gundogan had to finish it what the fuck was that man it would have been game set and match how did that not go in Baiji, the question is how did that not go in there was a goal early on, right? Marmoush and Kevin De Bruyne running through. Marmoush misses, ball falls to De Bruyne. How did that not go in? I mean, वो दो goals, six goals. The three goals which McAtee missed, nine goals. One goal which hit the post, 10 goals. This should have been double figure score line. This should have taken care of our goal difference for the entire season, this match. But again, the difference between Savio and McAtee is Savio holds on to. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but with Savio the game slows down once the ball goes to him. But with McAtee the game is insanely faster. The game is so much faster. He gets the ball, one touch passing or two touch passing. He moves the ball, but Savinho looks to move himself. I think for me, I think McAtee and Oscar Bob are much better options over Savinho on the right wing. I don't know if you guys agree or not. But it says that is a offside changed everything because if that went in, that would have been game set match Palace. We ain't coming back from 3-0 down. Kovacic. I think that Isaiah offside just sparked something at City. Like, yes, we have now got a chance. We've been let off the hook here. We'll maximize it. That's how it really felt after the easy offside. After the easy offside, Palace were not allowed to even breathe. Wonderful from James McAtee. His skill in little spaces is just superb. I think is a is a better player right on the right hand side than Savinho. Because Savinho is all about himself. McAtee is all about the team. What a ball that was from Edison, to be honest. Gautam says best ball playing keeper hands down. We might move on from him next season, but this ability of his will be missed for sure. He has literally revolutionized how goalkeepers think, and that takes a lot for a person to do it. That's why I think Edison will forever remain as one of the legendary keepers of the Premier League. He might not be the best and talked about like some of the legends, Peter Schmeichel, for example, David Seaman, and not in that sort of a company maybe, but he'll always be talked about as the best ball playing goalkeeper. He has been the best ball playing goalkeeper ever, and he'll be talked about someone who changed the way this game was played from goalkeeping point of view. And also, even with the hands in the Champions League winning campaign when we won the treble, I think Edison was exceptional with the saves against Bayern, against Real Madrid, against all of those teams. He was absolutely exceptional. Kevin De Bruyne a free kick, one more goal, and we can relax for the next half an hour, and we can chat about more things about City and stuff without bothering much about the match. But one more goal, and we can be a bit more stress free. Biases is that we have covered. Biases is any other season Gundo would have scored that was an easy chance for Gundo. I don't know how Marmoos missed it, to be honest. Don't know how Marmoos missed it. Just cannot understand how Marmoos missed it, to be honest. Bayaji says last season we conceded two in injury time and drew 2 2. I remember that Bayaji 78th minute at the hard we were winning 2-0, and then we conceded one goal in the 92nd minute. I think Foden concedes a penalty in the last minute. The last minute Foden concedes a penalty. 2-2. I think that was one of the worst phases, one of our worst phases, to be honest. That was absolutely one of our worst phases. But then we won the league, so everything's done there. Just a moment. I think Isa is down with an injury, but yeah. But this is out of jail in the game. Must not draw this one. If we draw this one, it's done. You won't find Pep in the next day tomorrow morning. You'll find Duan Malilo coming to take the training sessions. I mean, they're trying to do the pause none here, but I don't know. But yeah, I think this is a kind of a game. This game we could have easily coasted to 4 goals, and then Palace scored 2 goals, and we could have won like that, and it would not have much of an impact on the season. But we were 2 goals down at home, and we came back from 2-0 down to make it 4-2 against this Palace team. Have been very good defensively. Then they have had the highest clean sheets, for example, in the last 10 games, and all of those things. I think when you do that, I think that comeback gives you a lot of confidence. To be honest, I think this could just propel us. on a run, to be honest. That is wonderful from Omar Marmoush, but City have the advantage here. Ah, I think Kovacic should have angled the pass and played in James McAtee there. That was a much more easier option, to be honest. JSK this week, he play who plays Cam for Barcelona? Fermin Lopez. Fermin Lopez played there the last time I saw, to be honest. Fermin Lopez played there and he was exceptional. I mean, one of the key lessons from what happened this season should be that we can look at Barcelona and think, yes, they did not buy people to transfer ban and all, but how the players from their academy just came through. I think our objective should be in the future. I actually thought it would happen by now, but in general, our objective should be as well to have people like that coming through from the academy, so that you don't need to go out and look. Edison is down with a cramp. By says, is this KDB's game of the season? By honestly, I think this is just the start of KDB's purple run till the end of the season. And then KDB plays the Club World Cup for us as well, if I'm not wrong, because that also comes under this season. I mean, the best thing we can give KDB is a send off with an FA Cup and a Club World Cup. That would be absolutely insane. Both, this is not looking good. I think a stretcher is coming out, but I'm only hoping it is a precaution. It is a precautionary measure and nothing more than that. Not looking good for Edison, to be honest. Bayern says, where does O'Reilly play if he signed proper right back and left back? I absolutely have no idea, Bayoji, because O'Reilly is an attacking midfielder in the academy. Pep has played him as a CDM. Pep has made him as a left back and right back. Pep has, I mean, Pep has played him everywhere except his usual role, which is attacking midfield. So I absolutely don't know the answer to that question. But I think seeing the performance of but I think seeing the performance of Nico Riley out wide. I think there'll be if we sign Theo Hernandez for example. I mean, I don't know again because Josko Guardiola. I mean, could this actually push Josko Guardiola back to his best position, which is his centre back, and Nico Riley could be playing left back now? Is that the future? Because Josko Guardiola at centre back has not done any mistake. He's looked absolutely exceptional. He's looked absolutely exceptional in the last 2 3 games that he's played at centre back. The first goal, for example, was O'Reilly's mistake. If O'Reilly would have not gone on to press Michel and he would have just marked Ismail Sarwal, that goal would have been prevented. So I think Josko Guardiola has been flawless at centre back. So are we seeing a shift? Guardiola now is at centre back and Kushanov's competition is with Guardiola now. John Stones, God only knows. I think even God also doesn't know about John Stones. I think they're going to buy Theo Hernandez, so it will be Theo Hernandez and Nico O'Reilly for that left back spot. And then we are going to buy Andrea Cambiaso. And then the interesting thing here is Andrea Cambiaso is 2 footed. Zambidextrous, I think, so he can play both left and right back. which is done for Juventus. So it's very interesting. JS says PSG is implementing that academy philosophy now. Exactly, and look at the results. Wherein Zaire, Emery, Desire, Do, and I think there's one centre back as well who's very very good for them. I don't even remember his name. PSG have at least three or four players who are gun superstars who are coming from there. I think every club Mbappe goes to, that club suffers. Look at what's happening to Real Madrid. Why this is now Edison injured? Fuck this season. Let's hope it's not not the last game in City shirt. I mean, especially after seeing his assist. Uh, I mean, the injury looks serious because it's a non-contact injury. He kicked the ball and then he fell down. So don't know. We'll have to wait for a report. But just imagine if Ortega gets injured and Scott Carson walks in, that would be insane. Nico O'Reilly with the throw-in. JSK says Cambiaso is left back. No, JSK is a right back. He is a right back. He plays for Juventus, but he's both footed. So you might have seen him play it left back, but is generally a right back. But he's both footed naturally, so he can play both. But then he plays at right back for Juventus most of the time, and his crossing is exceptional. He's very good defensively as well. So Cambiaso is a right back, and the deal is almost done. That's why we are going for Theo Hernandez left back position. Kevin De Bruyne, Mario Kovacic. By Jesus, I think Reese should have been sent on loan and kept Juma Ba at the club. I think they rate Reese higher than Juma Ba at this point, I think. That is excellent defending there from City's offside anyway. And I'll tell you the reason as well. Juma Ba, if you've watched him play, he's tearing it apart in Liga as well. But if you watch him play, he's exceptionally physical. He is a monster in the air. You cannot beat him in the air. It's almost like you're seeing Antonio Rudiger 2.0. If you see Jumaba straight from a physical perspective, his aerial duels, his one-on-one duels, and all tackles insane. But the area where he's lacking is in terms of passing out from the back. That side of the game, he is good passer, but he's not on the levels of your Guardiola, Diaz, Stones. I mean, no one can be at the level of Stones. But Victor Reis is very good in on the ball, passing on the ball, and all of those things, and he's got pace, is decent one on ones as well, though he'll have to learn. So I think that's why they rate Reese as being more ready to adapt in City's style of play than Jumaba. But Jumaba will be a ballon. I think he has the potential to be Ballon d'Or defender. Has to pass it. Savinho has to pass it. You idiot! Look at what. Stefan Ortega has come on, and yeah. Look at Erling Haaland there. He would have enjoyed if he would have played this way. This could have been a two-digit score line. I'm sorry. Again, the pressing is so fast. Look at it. Since the is a offside goal, I think the pressing is insane. Look at the pressing in the middle. Nico Gonzalez has been exceptional. He's been outstanding. Kovacic. They say Victor Reis is the next Thiago Silva from Brazil. That's what they say about him in Brazil. His football intelligence is just out of this world. Victor Reis. James McAtee. What a ball from James McAtee. What a goal! What a goal, guys! What a goal from this guy! Nico O'Reilly. Wow, wow, wow. Exceptionally fantastic. Nico O'Reilly. What a goal. That is insane from Nico O'Reilly. Wow. But he says, where are they getting this energy from? From the backflip of James McAtee. But what a goal outside of the foot, if I'm not wrong, from Nico Rai. Wow, what a talent this guy is. This guy is an insane talent. James McAtee, sort of you can say an assist, and then the ball from James McAtee was exceptional. And wow, look at Nico Riley striking there. Fantastic from Nico Riley. Wow. Nico Riley just out of this world. Wow, from Nico Riley, superb, absolutely superb from Nico Riley. Bayaji says done and dusted, comeback complete. Bayaji, that shot from Nico Riley was out of this world, right? That is just an insane strike, to say the least. What a strike that is from Nico Riley. Bayaji says blue shark. Blue Sharks are coming from you for your blood, but not for the title this season, but for the top five. But good great defending there. Offside anyway. Nico Riley, except for the first goal for which he was at fault, has been absolutely outstanding in this game. Wow! Cheers to our very own Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob is coming on after a long time. Wow! Just look at how the academy graduates are shaping up. James McAtee, Nico Riley, Phil Ford, and Oscar Bob, Rico Lewis. Yes, Foden's not there today, but Nico Riley, Rico Lewis, McAtee, three academy graduates started, and now it's Oscar Bob. Look at James McAtee there. Wonderful display. Fantastic display. What a lad. What a lad. James McAtee. Fantastic display. Superb from James McAtee. The way he played. His ability in tight spaces and everything. This guy is special. O'Reilly is special. McAtee is special. Oscar Bob is special. Please do not let go of them. Do not ever let go of them. Oscar Bob already onto it. Oscar Bob already onto it. One wonderful touch from Oscar Bob. The control from Oscar Bob is absolutely insane. Wow. How did Oscar Bob even take it out from such a corner? Savinho has come on. I just don't want him to be selfish and carry the ball. all by his own. Play your teammates in, Savinho. Dare I see you again trying to be selfish? I'm gonna smash you, Savinho. I think Savinho playing a little bit on the inside will be more effective than playing on the outside. Oscar Bob, Rico Lewis. In fact, Rico Lewis and Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob was the one who was holding the width. By says last time, can't remember the last time City scored five. And I can remember Savinho there. Almost a great ball from Nico Riley again. Guardiola, in fact, it is. The energy, right, Baji, where is that energy coming from? Nico Riley, Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob is just absolutely insane. He doesn't even lose the ball once. Kovacic, Nico Riley, Nico Riley again, Stephen Ortega. Uh, I want to see Oscar on the ball more, to be honest. That was close. I want to see one more goal. Let us cap it off at six. It's a barrage of corners for Crystal Palace, to be honest. Interesting. Jack Grealish coming on, Jeremy Doku coming on. I think Jack Grealish starts the next game. I think. I mean, next game week we have two games. Probably Jack Grealish starts one of them. By this is first loss in away league game for Palace in 22nd October, and also the way in which we defeated them is very important because it's not that we defeated them. Kevin De Bruyne are going off, and look at his touch map, absolutely fantastic. We need to celebrate every match of Kevin from now because he's gonna leave. What an incredible player he is! Just look at the impact he's had on the match today. Single-handedly won us the game. What a player! Goal, assist was much more than that. Brought the spirit, brought the determination to the game. When we were looking low, 2-0 down, almost a third goal disallowed. Kevin De Bruyne was the one who was pressing, who was cheering hard. It seemed he was 25, not 34, not 35. That's what Kevin De Bruyne seemed like. It was absolutely superb. But yeah, I think the manner in which we won is just super, super good. 2-0 down, almost on the verge of being 3-0 down. Palace were battering us from everywhere, and then we picked it up from there. and should have honestly scored 9. What an insane comeback. I think this is the spirit that we need to carry till the end of the end of the season, because every potential game is a final right now. Every game is a final right now. Interesting. Doku's come on, Grealish is come on, and De Bruyne is off. It's interesting with Pep. I think Jack Grealish is gonna play in the middle right now, unless he plays Gundogan there. But Savinho one side, Doku, Bob other side. It's interesting where he'll play Jack Grealish. Bayaji says a huge comeback win against a super informed side is just amazing, exceptional. It's inspirational as well to lift the spirits of this group, to lift the spirits of the fans as well. Because just imagine how all of us were feeling at 2-0 down. Just imagine how we all were feeling after the Manchester derby. That Manchester derby was the shittiest game of football I've seen in a long, long time. That's what it was. It seemed as if two of the worst sides were playing, and neither side could open up the other side. None had legs in midfield. If we played this team against Manchester United, it would have been this score line against Manchester United. It could have been even better, 5-0. Wonderful there again. Rico Lewis, Jack Grealish. Look at the touch from Jack Grealish, superb. Nico Gonzalez, Jeremy Doku. Oscar Bob's asking for it but doesn't get it. Rico Lewis tries to play in Oscar Bob, but it's not possible. I want Oscar Bob to score one goal to cap it off. What a return it will be for Oscar. Oscar Bob in there. Can he get inside the box dribbling? Ah, that's a free kick in favor of Palace. Look at Pep sitting in the seat so calm. And Ivan Malilo beside him. I mean, it so rarely happens in life in life that your teacher himself becomes your assistant after a few years. That's what happened with Ivan Malilo and Pep. The relationship is just so amazing. Jack Grealish is doing Jack Grealish things. Biogenesis believed more in direct play than sideways backward passing for no reason. Neither stopped around half line on counters. I think a major difference is the kind of midfield we played. I think, Bayaji, if you look at Gundogan holding or even Kovacic holding, I think there was there, I think there was no belief in the City players that if something goes wrong, my midfielder can hold his midfield on his own. My DM is capable of that, and the result of that was sideways passes, even by the attacking midfield players. Because when an attacking midfield player like Kevin De Bruyne decides to make a pass, this one of the things in back of his mind is if this goes wrong, will my DM be able to Will will my DM be able to mop it up? I think with Gundogan and Kovacic holding, I think we did not have that confidence. 7 minutes at a time. There's so many goals scored in this match. Fine, fair enough. But so now with Nico Gonzalez holding and Kovacic, an able box to box player, suddenly attacking mids like De Bruyne, Gundogan, they realize I can try that pass. Doesn't come off. There are two guys waiting for me to mop it up. That's why we have seen us being much more direct right now and compared to the other parts of the season. Look at Nico O'Reilly there. Look at his physicality there. That's a free kick for Palace. Phil Foden's there. I think Phil Foden would have absolutely enjoyed this because of three attacking midfield players, sort of your wingers coming in as well. More space for Phil Foden because they would not have been able to exclusively focus on him. Would have been superb from Phil Foden. They want a handball against Rico Lewis. Jeremy Doku does exceptionally well, and that's a foul on Jeremy Doku, and that's a yellow card. It's a free kick for us. This is wonderful by Bob, but when will really show some courage to take the shot first time? Exactly. You have players here, Bayaji, who like Jack Grealish, for example, who are afraid to take the shot because they think what will happen if I miss it and all. I don't know. They lack the courage, and then on the other side of the spectrum, you have players like Ruben Diaz who shamelessly take shots from out wide. I mean from long distance away from the goal, or even people like Savio who shamelessly keep on taking shots even though it's not going in. Jack Grealish has to take on more shots. Even fans want that. Savinho has to play in Grealish. I don't know what Savinho tried to do there. Again, with Savinho, sometimes the game just feels so selfish. It's not there when McAtee was there earlier on. I don't know why. Jack Grealish, Mateo Kovacic, Rico Lewis, Jeremy Doku. Can he play Oscar Bob? Why just says if we played like this, then why Pep asked them to play? I don't understand that thing against Manchester United. He had Nico Gonzalez available. He had bloody Kushner available, for example. He had Kovacic available. Then why did he put that you know legendary old and legendary midfield in that United match? Both Gundogan and Bernardo Silva were starting in that match. It was proximity because the ball just bumped off from his chest onto his hand. Nicolos cannot do anything. I'm just waiting for an Oscar Bob goal to end. Do not end this by conceding a goal. That is a message. Nico O'Reilly again exceptional. And the final results blown and a convincing victory, a great victory, a fantastic victory, a great comeback victory for City. We were down and out, we were out in the dumps. We were absolutely out in the dumps. And I think the comeback was insane. The comeback showed the spirit which many of us thought was not there this season. We thought the burning fire inside was not there this season, but Kevin De Bruyne and the entire City squad showed that the fire is still there. The fire is still present inside. What a performance from City! A performance that can reshape an entire season. Performance that can entirely change the narrative. Performance that can act like a springboard for the next step in for people like Nico O'Reilly, for people like James McAtee, who were exceptional throughout. That outside of the food finish from Nico O'Reilly was just outstanding. What talent this guy is defensively, great reading of the game, though he's an attacking midfield player in the academy. Exceptional in tight spaces, very good with the shot. Excellent from Nico O'Reilly, fantastic. If Forest lose today, the top five race will just be so much more interesting. Wow. Forest lose today. It's Forest against Everton, or even if Forest draw today, the top five race will be something else, to be honest. But this is what a turnaround, what an insane turnaround, I would say. I mean, if you look at our next pictures, interesting. I'll just. The XG is 3.9 and XG is 4. Their XG was 1.71. 21 shots, 9 on target. There's a 7 shots, 3 on target. Superb from City. Bayeji says at least they didn't sell O'Reilly. But again, Bayeji, O'Reilly was an attacking midfield player. I think would this talent of O'Reilly be discovered if he was sold? We don't know, because I do not think anyone in the world in their right senses plays O'Reilly at fullback position, Josko Guardiola at fullback position, and does all that shit. So, so I think the it's just exceptional from Pep how he recognizes different positions for players where they're not even meant to play. Superb from Pep. But again, it's a great game, a great weekend. After so many weekends, a great weekend where City had won. But I think the question marks over the transfer window remain over Kevin De Bruyne's replacement. There is walking King Kevin. As he's walking, I can recount memories of him. The Arsenal game where we had to win, and it destroyed Arsenal. We won that 4-1 or 5-1 or whatever that game. The Aston Villa game where the iconic moment where we were 2-0 down, and then he was tying the shoelaces, and after that it was that exceptional pass to Gundogan for the third goal. We made a comeback 3-2. That goal against Real Madrid. I mean, we'll talk about it as De Bruyne slowly ends his career, but as he's walking across the Etihad Stadium, getting all these memories, because especially in the last decade, it's almost like the City fans have grown up sort of with this KDB, King Kevin, sort of that aura, King Kevin sort of playing style. We've been used to King Kevin making those passes that we've taken for granted. So I mean, let's just enjoy of whatever little that is left of Kevin De Bruyne in this league, because I'm sure we'll miss him and we'll realize it a lot later. So let us just enjoy whatever else is left of him. By this is last season Chris Palmer and this season Rogers. Every time they score, I remember Pep's mom. But honestly, Cole Palmer, I still maybe agree, but Morgan Rogers, I think we had sold him a while earlier and there was no chance for him because Gundo was in his prime. De Bruyne was in his prime. I think we sold him 2 years back, 2 3 years back. I think at least when we sold him. So, but Palmer is the one that actually stings. But then if we can get McAtee to develop in that way, because for me, I don't know how much people will believe it, but I think McAtee's talents are up there with Cole Palmer, to be honest. It's just that we need to put it into perspective, that's all. Anyway, guys, what a game. Just enjoy the weekend. enjoy the enjoy the bloody weekend after a long time. Every weekend was City losing, and I didn't wouldn't even watch highlights of it. Now that City has won, I'll roll back it. I'll watch the highlights. Maybe I'll watch the entire game once tomorrow. But it's just enjoy the weekend, guys. What a performance from City. Anyway, thanks a lot. Bye, Aji. Thanks a lot, Bayaji, Gautam, and JSK for coming here. Kaundinya is here as well. Kaundinya is saying, enjoy IPL now. I mean, I think you all guys know last time I've told I like Mumbai Indians, and there's a strange correlation between Mumbai Indians and City. There was an occasion once when I think it was in 2017, I think, when I watched Mumbai Indians and City lift both of their respective trophies at the same time, literally. I didn't have double screen. Then I think I put one on mobile and one on laptop, and then watch both of them lifting the trophy at the same time that season. So, and whenever City do well, MI do well. Whenever MI do well, City do well. I don't know the strange correlation, but I think you see MI's bad run, City's bad run. Now I think now that City has made a comeback, I think you can expect MI to maybe make an exceptional comeback again. Let us see what will happen. And also the strange correlation whenever MI has won a trophy, City has won a trophy. Yes, 13 and 15 with an exceptions, but after that it's been the same thing. So still we can win a trophy, FA Cup, Club World Cup, everything's there. But Bayaji says Bumrah effect, and you see Bayaji how things are coming back. City coming into form, Bumrah coming back for the previous match yesterday. Now City coming into form, and everything's happening. Everything happens for a reason. Wow! I just hope they give a debut to Pavan Jacobs tomorrow for the MI game against DC. Enough of this Will Jacks, Rohit Sharma, and Brian Reckleton shit at the top. None of them is performing. It's like a 3 wickets down on great batting wickets even before the power play ends. Gaudinya says, will KDB play the Club World Cup? Of course, Gaudinya. It's part of this season. It's part of this season. Club World Cup is part of this season. City do not have a pre-season because the season extends until the Club World Cup ends. And the insane thing is, let me tell you, just a moment. If City reach the final of the Club World Cup, I think there's a huge clash, and when the Premier League starts and when the Club World Cup ends, there's not much break in between. I think Pep had told a lot about it. I think there's a transfer window as well, which has been summer transfer window has been brought forward due to the Club World Cup and stuff. So I'll have to look at it more closely. So I think KDB will play the Club World Cup. That's what I'm telling. The best tribute you can give to KDB is win the FA Cup for him, win the Club World Cup for him. Look at the man walking, and a lot of memories. I started to tell them, but I think I'll reserve it for the last Premier League game. Wow, KDB there. I don't know why I feel, but KDB and McAtee are walking together there, and it somehow feels like a baton is being passed. I know it won't be McAtee, but it could be McAtee as well. He's so good in those tight spaces, in those little spaces. Baya, this is time for a bigger squad. And the irony is, I think you get the same amount of money, a little bit more money by winning the Club World Cup than by winning the Champions League. So you literally get more money by winning a one month tournament than by winning a 7 month tournament in the Champions League, which is far more harder. I think this FIFA and UEFA, this conflict, I just don't know where it is actually going to. Continuous is there's just a month's gap between the final of the Club World Cup and start of exactly that's what even Pep was telling. So there'll literally be no preseason for City because you can't tell the players to play the Club World Cup, give them 2 weeks off, and tell them to come for preseason. That's not going to be possible. Players need at least a month off because generally until now what it would have been is every 4 years once. Probably the summer was congested because the Club World Cup was there, and then maybe once in a with 3 years or so, Euros would have been there, and sort of things like that. Now every summer there's no time off for players because every summer you'll have Club World Cup, and when there's no Club World Cup, you'll have the FIFA, the main World Cup or the UEFA Euros or something like that. So there's absolutely no gap for the players. And also, it seems the proposal is to expand the number of Club World Cup teams next year to even more. So what they are thinking is they're FIFA is ideally thinking this in the proposal. What FIFA is thinking is ideally they would want to have a 2 month tournament, FIFA Club World Cup tournament in America. That's what is the plan with all of the best teams. Now it's a very there are only a few teams if you'd see, but all of the best teams Club World Cup tournament there in America. So I think like Baya just said, a bigger squad is needed and all of those things. It's just insane. But one thing I'll take away from today's game is the character of Nico O'Reilly. Yes, you can talk about uh, the assist is given, the pre-assist is given for the Kovacic goal, the assist is given for the goal is scored, one of the assist is given for McAtee, I think. So you can not McAtee, that was Edison, but he's given two pre-assists and a goal. I mean, you could talk about all that, but for me, what stood out about Nico Riley today is he was at fault for City for Palace scoring the first goal. You know, he jumped on and then Ismail Sarr was free and passed to Isa and the goal went in. That did not let him deter him. He kept his head up. He did not let that bad moment deter him. He showed strength of character and he moved on. He didn't let it affect him. I think the best characters in the game, the best players in the game from a young age show these traits, They're resilient. It's yes, technique and all are important, but more than technique, resilience is far the greatest skill in football. If you ask me, I've seen great technical players who are not resilient just fall prey to this game. There are graveyards of that, and history of football is a witness to it. And Brazilian players with far less talent and skill have made it far. They have played 600 games, 700 games. Your Gareth Barry's and James Milner's are not technical powerhouses compared to people like Hatim Ben Arfa and all. But so I think I've seen the Brazilians in Nico Riley, the calmness under pressure, the resilience to get back up, that Brazilians to say yes, I'm going to do it again after making a mistake. That is just wonderful from Nico O'Reilly. For me, that one incident showed that he is going to be a superstar of the future there. Whichever position he might play in the future, I don't know. Insane. Highest Man City assists this season. Savinho 8, KDB 7, Edison 4. My god, Edison has more assists than all of our midfielders except KDB and Savinho probably. So anyway guys, again, thanks everyone for joining me and